Hello, everyone. It is 7 o'clock no, not a.m. Oh my gosh, I'm so used to doing things at 7 and 8 o'clock a.m. It is 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time here from Midtown Manhattan, and this is the orientation for Life on Your Terms Cohort 3, which is really exciting. It's actually the fourth group to go through it all together, but it's the third formal cohort to move through it all together through the Legacy of You, which is the name of my company. And the purpose of today, number one, let me actually start with this as the room populates. If you are watching this as a replay on Facebook, type the word replay inside the text box right now. For everyone else that's watching it as a replay, that means you're probably watching it on YouTube because Elizabeth Radball, aka ERAD, she is your concierge for your Life on Your Term program, will be making sure that you get that program. My air conditioner just went off and I don't want that bothering us. It's loud, such New York air conditioning and heat. So as you come in the room, say a word of welcome. I'm gonna type the word bonjour into the text box right now. I want you to type your words too. So this is an orientation that is designed to be interactive. And the purpose of today is one main thing for me to make sure that the time you've invested in the Life on Your Terms program is fully, you get way more value out of it than you put into it. So again, as you're in the room, say hello. There's Michael Costa, hello. And normally we have a small turnout for this, but let's keep it going. Feel free to type things inside the text box. Jenny Drake, sup yo. Jessica Cook, yo baby. Erad saying hello. So Erad is your concierge. That's Erad. Everyone say hi to Erad. She's going to become one of your greatest friends during the next few weeks, as I will as well. But she's going to be sending you a lot of correspondences. You've probably already read them as it is. So again, if you're just coming in the room or you're just watching this as a replay, type the word replay inside the text box. But everyone that's here now is definitely live. Dana, hello. Thanks for being in the room today. And again, for those that are not going to be here live to watch the video, we're going to also have it so people could watch it here and on YouTube. Our group right now is the largest group we've ever had. Technically, it's sold out. If people are really interested in coming, they absolutely can. There's no reason to turn them away since there's no actual seating, but we're going to cap it at 40. So we're at ERAD, I think we're at 36. Am I correct? 35 or 36 people, which is the largest group. This was designed for about 35 people, so we capped it at that. And this is the first time we've actually hit our maximum capacity of what we were expecting. So congrats on being part of something great. And I, not for a moment, want you to think that, oh my gosh, it's the biggest group, I won't get attention. This was designed for group engagement. So we got 35, ERAD says. That's wonderful. All right. So this is the most talking I'm ever going to do. You're never going to hear me talk this much ever again. The reason I wanted to do this, and this is the second time we're doing it, so we're sort of making our way, the second time doing an orientation, shall I say, is so that you can get the most out of the experience. And I'm not spending time up front at the beginning of the program giving you all the details. So this is for you. So number one of the best things about the program is it's designed to be cozy. I've got my sea otter mug. I'm going to take a sip of my now herbal tea because it's evening time. And whenever we meet, bring a cozy beverage of some sort. Maybe it's a nice warm cup of milk. Maybe it's tea or decaf coffee or caffeinated coffee if you wish that as well. I'm not going to say no to you. But just bring a cozy beverage whenever we get together. So, as I said, going to do the most talking now. We're meeting on Facebook now, but we will be meeting on Zoom. That's the platform. But because this is just me going boom, 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 and for us to interact here, I wanted to make sure that I just got it all out. And while we're here, because we do have a bunch of individuals in the room, why don't you put where you're from, what state, what city, wherever you want to say, or you could just say from, the universe, wherever you wish to identify as where you come from. Put that in the chat box now. I want us to start getting used to writing things down and typing things down. And if, again, you're watching this as the replay through Facebook, type your information here, even during the replay, because I'll come back and I'll respond to you. This program is designed to be interactive. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, number one, thank you for your trust. That's the biggest thing. Thank you for your trust. My background is I'm a leadership and life coach. Prior to that, I worked managing thousands, literally thousands of people in bus and truck tours and national tours, producing tours, and now I get to take the best knowledge that I ever learned about what it's like to live in this microcosm of an environment, and how do we turn it into our experience, an experience for us to be able to serve other people and bring it to you in the Life on Your Terms program. There we go. Amanda's in the room. Hello, Amanda. Welcome on in. Astoria, New York. So we got some New Yorkers here today. Louisville, Kentucky. Been there. Talk about national tourists. I've been there too. So why LOYT? Where did LOYT come from? LOYT stands for Life on Your Terms. That's what you signed up for. And again, I'm going to do the most talking. That's the last time I'm going to say that now. I just don't want you worry like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a talking head for 4 weeks straight. Whoa, no. So this is just, again, me making sure you guys know what to expect. Life on Your Terms actually was something I had in my mind for 5 years from now. But COVID-19 and the quarantine and the shutdown of our world and the fact that I have a deep background in professional touring entertainment, I had a bunch of friends come to me be like, hey, I really want to coach with you because I don't know what I want to do next with my life, because I don't think my industry is coming back anytime soon. And so I was like, wow, you know, between me not traveling as much for speaking engagements, the request from people I know in my life, people saying, hey, I want to coach with you, but I don't know what my finances are going to be like right now, I decided to create LOYT. And now we're on our third cohort, but the first four, this is called Cohort 3, but we've done it 4 times, and it's been way, I wanted to do it once, this is permanent. In fact, oh, they're packed up. We even created brochures, physical brochures, because I know I'm going to see people one day soon. And so that's why I created Life on Your Terms, which it sounds like a selfish thing, life on your terms. In fact, what I'd love for you to do right now is put in the chat section, what does life on your terms mean to you? Like when you hear like, I'm living life on my terms, what does that mean to you? We've got Dana from Oklahoma as well. Wow, we've got 2 Oklahoma, oh no, Kentucky and Oklahoma, not the same state. But we have 2 people from not New York here, which is great, and New Rochelle, other places people put down. So what does life on your terms mean to you? And we're gonna explore that over the next 4 weeks. All right, what makes this program different than other digital online programs is it is live, it is interactive, right? If you do have to miss a day, if you do have to miss a session, then we do have the replays on a password protected website that is going to be listed inside the onboarding email that Elizabeth Radbot, ERAD, had sent you. So look for that, make sure you can sign into that now. But the idea is that you can come to all 4. And if you have not taken the survey in advance for me to get to know you and where your mind is, then make sure you fill out that survey. And one of the things we ask there is like, hey, do you plan on being on all 4 events, or all 4 days? Are there going to be days you miss? Because we do actually go through this together as a cohort. That's why it's called Cohort 3. And the group gets close. We get to know each other. So I'm really excited about that. Amanda Friedman says, life on your terms means unapologetic. Ooh, we could explore that one for a while, can't we? All right, so here's the way it unpacks. Week 1 is just going to be, so you have a mental understanding of what's to come. Week 1 is understanding emotional intelligence and what do you control. Isn't that fun? What do you control? Week 2 is, week 1, look at me. Week 1 is the definition of life on your terms and the metrics we'll use to go, how likely is it that you're going to be living life on your terms as a way to serve other people, okay? Week 2 is understanding emotional intelligence and what it is that you control. Week 3 is what ERAD loves to call Purpose Day, right? ERAD, you love Purpose Day. Where we're gonna go, like whether you believe we have a life's purpose or not, we're gonna explore what does a life's purpose mean, no matter what your background is, what your faith is, whether you're agnostic or deeply spiritual, what's life's purpose actually mean, and give us all a North Star. Now you might already know your North Star, but we're gonna define even more clear what's your North Star, so all decisions you make from that point on have a North Star to go to. Yeah, see, ERAD loves Purpose Day. And week 4 is taking the tools we've committed to and going to the next steps. What do we do next? Making commitments as a group right there and then. And we're not gonna be singing Kumbaya, we're not gonna be hugging each other, right? It's just commitments you're making to yourself, but you're sharing it with the group. Now, should you want to continue after that, there is a 2.0 and a Gratitude Slam Plus program, but we're not going to talk about that today. I just want you to know that that does exist. Now, a big question we get asked is about the certificate program. How many of you are going for the certificate program? And again, if you're watching this as a replay as well, still put your answer in because I'll come back. Because we're offering a certificate for self-leadership, right? We got a lot of very motivated people that are signed up for this program. And I think for the most part, we get like an 80 to 90% participation rate in people who actually obtain the self-leadership certificate. And what you need to do in order to get a certificate in self-leadership level 1, well, and what can you do with that? I don't know, but it sounds cool, right? And you can put it on a resume. You can talk about it in interviews. If you're ever talking about leadership, you could say it's something you get certified in. If you know, so there's many ways it could show up for you, and sometimes it's just nice to have a certificate. But the way to get the certified through the Life on Your Terms program is you will watch you will attend or watch the replay of all 4 videos. This is not one of the videos. And fill out all the post and pre-forms, which we're going to go into that. So that's 2 forms per meeting. Actually, yeah, 2 forms. Easy way to describe it is 2 forms per meeting. All right, so just so you know, there is a certificate program. If you don't get it, doesn't mean you failed life on your terms. It just means you don't get the pretty thing that ERAD sends to you that can say, hey, I'm certified in self-leadership level 1. Great. All right. There are a few group agreements that I just want to say. As we move forward, I'll have a screen share to have here in the orientation, but for now, I just wanted to make sure I told you all this before we got in the room, so I never needed to say it in the room. All right, so number 1, everyone, just give like a wake-up word. Like say something like a zap, a zing, or wow. All right, so put a word in there that in the text box in the chat section there. I'm going to say zing because I said zing before and it felt good to say. I want everyone who's listening right now to put in the chat section some wake-up word right here just to demonstrate to our minds we're doing a transition. Here's the group agreements. Be here. It means you get 90 minutes with me, and we get 90 straight minutes, okay, whenever we meet together. And you owe it to yourself to give you that time. Now, if there's an emergency or something you have to be on standby for, I'm not taking that away from you. But if you're going to take any 90 minutes, I'm asking you to take 4 90 minutes and just be here, which also includes use this stuff responsibly. I highly recommend turning them off, giving the phone to someone else, telling people you're close to, hey, I'm going to be offline for these 90 minutes. These things are addicting, and they're designed to be addicting, and we're going to go over why are they so addicting, because it's not just you, just so you know. Oh, I love these words, yoop and yo and boom and bam, bam, bam and zing. All right, I like those words, onomatopoeia. So use technology responsibly. If you can turn off the things on your computer, things that make your computer go, if you can turn those things off, turn those things off. Again, if you got to keep them on, I'm not going to stop you, but this is life on your terms. It's your time to be present. 2, people will share things both in the chat sections and live on the screen. People will share things in breakout groups. Respect privacy and vulnerability. All right? If you've already done the homework, you've watched the Brene Brown video, respect vulnerability, because that's the only way we're really going to grow. Okay? And sometimes it's just it's not comfortable to people to share, but they do it anyways because they're wanting to lean into the work fully. And I commend everyone for doing that, and I'd love to have all of you that are on this call right now to do that as well. Now, if there's anything you disagree with, because we do definitely chisel away at some beliefs and limiting beliefs, and we challenge some status quo and possibly even talk about some things that might be considered taboo, but we're an open group. Disagree, you may, but disagree with curiosity. Instead of saying, I don't agree, ask questions. That's not the way I see it. Can you tell me more? There's 2 more group agreements. The next one's my favorite, and it's self-honor thy bio needs. Does anyone know what that means? Self-honor thy bio needs. What does that mean? Anyone? Put that down, and I'll explain it if we don't get the nail on the head. And the final one is one of the most importance of the group. Passing is accepted. If I ask a question and I go, hey, Dana Bedford, want to ask you a question, right? And I give the question, and you're just not ready to answer that in a group or at all or for yourself, you're always welcome to say pass, P-A-S-S. I will never question it. I will never deny it. I will never laugh at it, and you will never get scolded for it. But I want you to know if you're in a breakout room or it's a time where we're going around the horn, you may always pass. All right. And since none of you know what a self-honor thy bio needs is, it means if you gotta go pee, go pee. You don't need to say, hey, I'm going to the bathroom, everyone. If you leave the screen, it means either, okay, you didn't like what I had to say, or you just had to go to the bathroom. Also, you can do like what I'm doing. You can stand. I'm standing right now. Whatever you need to do, move around. We talk a lot about somatic experiences. All right. For this experience, I recommend you have a dedicated notepad for the group, because I promise you, as long as you lean into the work, you will want to keep that notepad from here until the end of time. You're going to have things in there you're going to want to refer back to. All right. In fact, not only do I recommend having a notepad, I actually recommend buying maybe a 1/2 inch or a 1 inch binder if you don't have one. And if you have a printer, anytime ERAD sends you documents, highly recommend printing them out. If you don't have a printer, that's okay too. You can also write on all of our documents digitally, or you can just draw it in your notepad, any of our forms, because there's going to be some things for you to fill out to help guide your mind to focus on the important topics. Okay? Journaling, highly recommend journaling, whether you get the day one during the process. Maybe you journal now. We're going to have some journaling exercises. Highly recommend you journal through the process, because there's a lot of processing of the stuff that we go through. Living on life your terms is not about taking one pill and calling it a day. It's actual debriefing, unpacking. Now, if you don't want a journal, you don't have to, but if you want to get a journal, now's the time to get a journal. Again, you're going to want to look back on this time in the future, because it's such powerful work that we're doing. Or at least I found it to be super powerful for me and the other individuals that went through the last 3 times I've done this grouping. Oh, and then there's pre and post forms. ERAD, I don't remember if we sent them out. I don't think we've sent them out. They'll be in the backstage area, and ERAD will send them out as well. So within 24 hours of any of our sessions, not this one, any of our meetings, I don't even like calling them sessions. It sounds so academic. Within 24 hours of participating or watching a video, you don't have to. It's your time. It's your life on your terms. I highly recommend filling out the post form within 24 hours. I'd even set aside an additional 30 minutes after each meeting to fill it out, or 20 minutes. If you want the work to stick, the best way to do it is to teach it. And in the post form, meaning post the meeting, you're teaching the paper, you're teaching yourself, you're teaching the muses, okay? And it gets the work to stick. And then my other request is 24 hours prior to meeting, or up to the meeting itself, fill out the pre-form, which you fill out, and it's going to give you prompts like, where am I seeing positive evidence of this work showing up? And you're going to be able to debrief with yourself and go, oh my God, and you'll literally go, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much I actually did this week and I didn't realize it. In fact, I had someone in the level 2 program today go, I didn't even realize how much I've done until I wrote it down. It's amazing. So highly recommend you do those. It's for your growth. And then you send them in. You can either not send them and just print them out and put them into your binder, or keep them on your computer. But I do read them all. And I will not get to respond to everyone's because it's such a large group, but I will go through and I will respond to selective ones if there's something sticking out. Can you get your copy of responses to SurveyMonkey? Yeah, Erad, I'll let you comment on that. But yes, Jessica Cook, absolutely, you can get that. If you didn't fill the survey out through the SurveyMonkey link directly, through the email that was sent through SurveyMonkey, it doesn't send it. It's because it doesn't know who's filling it out. But absolutely, Jessica, you can get that. Great question. And in fact, Erad, I think we might even send them to everyone. Oh, we do. See, the program's evolved so much. Great question, Jessica Cook. You just made that a reminder to myself. So Erad, let's also put that at the end of the survey is prior to meeting number 1, we'll send you a PDF copy of your survey results. Great question, Jessica Cook. Yeah. And well, there you go. Or send it to Erad. But Erad, I would like it to go to everyone because we do refer back to them. And if we remember, we did that the last time, Erad. So let's just get everyone anyways, but let's definitely make sure Jessica Cook from New York, from Astoria, gets her copy. But because I would like everyone to have their copy prior to us starting, because we'll refer back to those. And it should become part of your binder and journal as well. Okay, next thing that I want to make sure that I get for you is, yes, I want to talk about link. I wrote down some notes for myself to make sure I'm going through. The link will always be the same unless we have a need to change it. So it's the same link for all 4 meetings that you'll come to through Zoom. Highly recommend you test your Zoom in advance if you don't use Zoom, but I don't know a lot of people that don't use Zoom right now. Pretty amazing, right? Come 5 minutes early. This is not as much of a request as I recommend it very deeply. Come 5 minutes early because we start on the 1. So at 7:01 p.m. Eastern Time, we will begin every single day, rain or shine. We do not wait for everyone. So if you come 5 minutes early, you get time to check your tech. You get to power off, power back on if you have to. And I highly do recommend, by the way, you restart your computer before we start because Zoom, for going on for 90 minutes to 2 hours, it takes a lot of energy of the computer, and sometimes that computer, bad boy, just needs to get reset. And I also recommend plugging in to the wall if you can, not only your power, but the Ethernet. Most people don't have Ethernet nowadays, but if you can, highly recommend it. Okay, and by the way, this is because, like I said, it's my guarantee to you that there will always be more value than you signed up for or you paid for 30 minutes after. For 15 to 30 minutes after our meeting, I will hang out to answer any deeper questions, to if there's something in your life that this work applies to that we didn't get the time in the group to unpack it. I love that. It's one of my favorite times as the green room. Just assume we're just hanging out, having a cozy cup of tea, chatting informally. It's not as formal. It's just the people that wish to hang out. We take a 1-minute break between the end, or 2-minute break between the end of the meeting and into the green room. Okay, so I want to let you know that. Not mandatory. Well, none of it's mandatory. It's all for you. But not required, only for those of you that want to be there. Here, okay. As I go, I'd like you to type in the text box right now one thing that has your butterflies going about participating in this program. And there's 7 people watching right now. I'd love all 7 of you to put down what's one thing about this program that has your butterflies going. All right. Again, with Zoom, if you've never used it, test it out. And in eRed's onboarding email, there's a test link. And here's some etiquette on Zoom etiquette for our program. Because we're all sharing, as long as you have a camera, and if you don't, highly recommend getting one, super cheap. Videos are on from the very beginning, okay? You can go in gallery view or speaker view. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll discover it as you go in there. You can look at everyone, or you can just look at whoever's talking at that time. Because remember, unlike this, people pop up, we talk, you can unmute yourself whenever you want. So you can do either view. And sometimes we control your view as well. Mute policy. I don't even like the word policy. I don't know where that came from. Let's just strip that out of my mouth. When you come in, mute yourself, unmute yourself. But when we start, we're going to sort of mute everyone. And if you're unmuted and there's background noise, eRed will mute you. It has nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. It just means, hey, we noticed there's some background noise and we unmute you. You're more than welcome to leave it on. You're more than welcome to mute it. You can unmute yourself at any time. So don't worry if we mute you. You can re-unmute yourself. So I leave it to your discretion on how you use your mute button, but don't take it personally if we mute you. So Michael Costa, vulnerability among strangers. Yeah, that's a big one. A lot of people have that. And what's really nice is after meeting 1, boom, doesn't even exist. What will whatever I get out of it stick? You know what? One of the things, Jessica Cook, that's super important to me. I mean, when I say super, I write down that I'm a public speaker. I don't want to be a speaker. Unlike this right here, I never want to be a talking head. If what we share together doesn't stick, I have failed. Unlike other programs or books that I might read or anything like that, my goal is to make the schnizzle stick. I hope, Jessica, that makes you feel good. And by doing your post-form and pre-form, I promise, and journaling, if you do those 3 things, Jessica, it's a guarantee that it will stick. Maybe some things will have attrition, but for the most part, the core work will stick. And Amanda, new folks and perspectives, and since I know you, Amanda, because we've worked together in the past in the coaching world, I have a feeling new folks for you is going to be no problem, and you enjoy new perspectives. But I commend you for saying that's something that's giving you butterflies in your belly, right? Because we're going to break some thoughts and patterns and go, whoa, but I've been told that since I was 3. Okay, well, we're going to change some of these possibly. And it's up to you if you change it, by the way. All right. More etiquette. So video, gallery view, speaker view, mute policy, and here's one of my favorite parts, the chat section. Right now I want everyone to type the word key like that inside the chat section. So whenever we go over something, whether it's me who shares, or it's something someone else says, or something someone else even puts as a chat, then I want you to write the word key inside the chat section. And I want you to warm your fingers up. Do it right now. I'm going to do it again too. I want y'all to do it. I want you to write down key whenever you hear something that unlocks something. It goes click, oh my gosh, a new door just opened for me. Now let me explore if this resonates with me, if there's something I can do with it. Dana, by the way, I saw what you said, discovering shortcomings. Number 1, I don't understand shortcomings. I just don't. I don't understand. I understand it, but it's not something in the world of life on your terms. It's not something in the gratitude slam. We have our strengths, and we have our things that aren't strengths. And we get to decide, do I want to make that weakness into a strength? Because what makes the world go round is the fact that all of us have a different strength and all of us have a different weakness, right? I identify, or I shouldn't say identify, I have the symptoms of someone who would be deemed dyslexic. Am I dyslexic? Yeah, I probably am. But I don't let any of that impact me. I go, here's where I am. Here's my skill set. Here's how I receive the world. How can I make this better? Just like this. Me, if I were to write this as a book, it would be atrocious. Instead, I do this. This is my version of a book. So, Dana, love that you're saying you're discovering, that's something that gives you butterflies is discovering shortcomings. I look at it as, so I'm not taking that away from you, by the way, Dana. I'm really not. But the thing that we're going to focus on is, well, where do you thrive? I'm not focused on the lack. I'm focused on the abundance. Meaning, I'm not going to focus on I'm going to say it out loud. Where do we suck ass? I'm going to say it, where are we great? Where are we kings and queens and where are we geniuses? That's where we focus. I'm a big believer we don't focus on our biggest weaknesses. We focus on our biggest strengths. All right, so when we say things, and you can do it now, by the way, if I say something that click unlocks, you can write key. That's our version of amen, okay? Amen means I'm here, I'm present, I believe, I respond, right? If you actually look up the translation of it. So that's what key means. And when you type it, it motivates the room and it gets other people to see life through your eyes. Oh, wow, I didn't think that was important. Oh my gosh, that is important. So people get to see that, okay? All right. One thing that happens from time to time is we're going to take another 5 minutes to wrap up here. Happy to answer any questions. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat section now so that I can make sure I get it. If your computer has rules, put down anything with the word LOYT in the subject that it goes to your inbox. Because sometimes we send out emails or we BCC you as a group, sometimes the computer goes, uh-oh, it's spam. Let's get out of here, right? And so if you can create a rule in your computer, put LOYT, and also from time to time check your junk box just to see if you missed something. I know that some people, ERAD's messages already went to the junk mail. And that's it. And then other fun things is, those of you who responded to the Life on Your Terms onboarding email, there will be a playlist of music that is from the group. Have fun with that. And then, of course, if you're here, you're already part of the Facebook group, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also join the Cohort 3 Tea House, which is our group that we do together, okay? So, and if you don't have a Facebook page and you don't want to join Facebook, that's okay. We're not going to put anything on the Facebook group that we're not going to share in email or in the group. So, what are some questions you might have? Put it inside the chat section So you can see we just took 29 minutes to do that. That's 29 minutes that used to be unpacked in the meeting itself. So as we grow as the Life on Your Terms program, we'll have a more formal way to be able to do it. But for now, it's a way for us to sort of meet one another, say hello, have initial introductions, have a cup of tea together, and just make sure that I don't have to talk about this stuff in the group itself. So we're going to make sure that everyone in the group gets this to watch, both as a YouTube video or to come to the Facebook group, and they can join as a replay. So let's do this. Now that we've said it, what are you most looking forward to about the program? What are you most looking forward to about the next 4 weeks? Put that in the chat section. And I'm telling you right now, I'm most looking forward to just a great new group of people. And the fact that it is the largest group, which means there's going to be a synergy that we've never had before. And no, I'm not going to make you jump up and down and scream, right? It's more like this, but there's a lot more engagement and interaction and asking questions along the way. So put in the chat section here as we wrap up, what's something that now that we've talked about it excites you? You hope you can get out of your slump. Yeah. Jenny Drake, I just already love the fact that you're saying like, hey man, I'm in a slump. I honor that, I appreciate that, and I don't want to take away the feelings that you have, right? That's the last thing I'm going to do is, if anything, we're going to sort of honor, hey man, we're in a slump. What do we do with this? You know, how can we adapt to the slump? What's creating the slump? You know, and I know that there's a lot of things happening in the world right now, you know, and I don't know how all the current events are impacting you, but there's things we can control and there's things we can't control, and we're going to talk about those. And yeah, I hope so too. And Jenny, I'm even going as far as saying we're going to change the slump. I can't guarantee I can solve everything, but we can certainly evolve the slump. I know that sounds weird, but we can evolve it. And for any of us in a slump, we can evolve it. What else, everyone? So thank you, Jenny. Jenny, I commend Jenny for writing it out. Jessica Cook, recalibrating, believing that I can do and will do what I want to do. Yeah, and we're going to even define even greater. We're going to even narrow in. You already know your strengths and stuff like that. But we're going to define it even greater in the sense of like, wow, what's my North Star? So I love that idea of recalibrating. I recalibrate all the time. Me and my wife, Lauren, often take trips on our own individually. Like at the beginning of the year before COVID hit, I took a cruise for 8 days, 7 days, all on my own. It's just a time to recalibrate. And isn't that just sound refreshing to be able to do? What else, guys? Amanda, Michael Costa, Dana. What else? All right. Maybe you stepped away from the keyboard, but here's what I promise you. There will be some discomfort in the sense of like, ooh, this is weird, this is new. Because out of discomfort comes growth. But my promise to you is I will never push you to a point of pain where the change is so uncomfortable you have no other choice, right? Like other than to sign off of the group or something like that. So this is a totally open environment. I thank you in advance for being part of it. And again, if you're watching this as a replay on Facebook, put your responses down as we go. If you're watching this as in YouTube, thank you so much for watching. And thank you again for your trust as I want us all to live life on our terms so that we can serve the world stronger. Let's say peace out, everyone. Let's say words of goodbye. I'm going to say night because it's night. I'm not used to doing these at night. So let's say night. That's my word. What's your word to wrap up the night? I'm going to take one more sip of my sea otter tea. Amanda Friedman says she's looking forward to the exploration. Yes, it is exploration. It is. And it takes bravery and valor and, you know, to explore. So absolutely. So everyone, let's just close off with one word for the night because you're getting a sense of what it's like. If we're not sharing our voices on the screen, we're engaging all together here together. Jessica got it. Yeah, Jess Cook, very excited to have you here. Jenny Drake, very excited. Jenny's given us the peace sign. Amanda, looking forward to seeing you. Dana, bye indeed. Looking forward to seeing you all, oh my gosh, 2 days from now. And thank you for letting me babble on to save us time to be able to be together and show up for one another. Take care.